I'll start it off for everybody first. One thing I liked about our team tonight, we didn't get the win, which is always going to bother us because we're competitive people in our organization, but we were resilient throughout the game. Second quarter, cut the leads. They got a little bit of run in the third, and then we closed, and I think we got it to 6. So we didn't play perfect basketball, but our resiliency was high. And I was really happy for our guys that we continued to battle. And then they made a little push late to extend the lead, but there was not one moment of letting go. And that's the type of stuff that's going to help grow in our organization. So I was really happy for the guys. Not happy that we didn't win, but I was happy with our resiliency that we showed tonight. I'll open up for questions.
What did you think of the 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 matchups? You know, the first 3 quarters and then at the end of the game.
Thought Alex was in. We brought him in back at the start of the fourth. He was part of that group that was out there to help make the run. He scored on a couple of the late, but like I said, this is part of the maturation of going through this league. You have to see all these different types of matchups. I've coached a lot of great players in this league, lots of them, and you have to go through the fire. And you learn by doing and being out there and seeing what it feels like. He had some good moments, he had some tough moments, but that's part of the learning process. It's not just A, B, C, keep getting better. Sometimes it's a little bit here, and you make a jump. He made a little jump in that fourth, and then they got him late in the game, but that's part of it.
What was it that allowed you to make those runs, to get those closes that you wanted, that you really liked about the way that they put things together and kind of fought and showed that resiliency?
Defense. Our defense carried throughout the game. When we needed to make a run, we got stops, and we stayed committed that we turned them over. That fueled us getting some easy baskets. We shared the ball, but it was our defense that made us sustain in the game and keep in the game.
Kyle, first game back, what did you see?
You know, he brings great energy, great competitiveness, obviously his ability to get downhill as a playmaker and as a scorer. Nice to have him back out there.
Did you notice any rust in his game?
I did not, no. Pretty impressive for not playing for a bit. Tons of energy, looked like himself, really helpful for our team. Glad he's back.
What was it about the bench that was able to kind of, was it just as simple as adding Keyshawn back to that mix with the second unit, or was it just they were able to kind of take advantage in their opportunities against the Rockland second unit?
I think we have a deep team who have guys, and we're going to get more guys back. We have a deep roster who can have different lineups, different combos. We saw more of that tonight. You know, we entered in Kyle back into the starting lineup, and that changed some of our rotations in our lineups. I think you're seeing some of our versatility, which is a strength, I think, of our team.
How much are you almost, in a way, relishing the fact that you have a good problem in getting Kyle back and having to figure out these rotations versus looking down your bench and wishing, like, man, I wish I had these guys? Is that a good problem in your position to have, that you have to figure it out?
Always a good problem when guys are healthy and available. You know, for their own sakes, I want to see all these guys on the court. These guys love to play. They put a lot of time in, so I was thrilled that Kyle, how he attacked his rehab. Really impressive, and then he got back on the court tonight, and that's what all of our guys do when they have these things that come up. But like I said, there's often opportunities for others, and we had growth. We played a lot of guys who had never played in the NBA, a lot of minutes. Great growth. So like all these things matter, they all help.
Jordan had 8 turnovers today. He hasn't really had too many issues taking care of the ball so far this year. Was anything different today? What did they do?
You got to give credit to the other team. Sometimes they were physical with him, great ball pressure with them. They were trying to take him out of his game, but like, you know, he had some turnovers tonight. But still, you got to remember, like, he's always #1 on other teams scouting. Just by him, the crowds that he gathers is going to give shots to everybody else. So even though he got caught up in some turnover, he probably still created a lot of momentum for other guys because of the amount of attention that he draws.
He also had 4 steals. You've talked a lot about his defensive impact. How impressive is it to see, you know, not him just doing it 2-3 games, but, you know, you're 10 games and 9 games into the season. So,
yeah, he's been great. Since I started coaching the team last year, he's been the same. I think he's upped it this year with his defensive pressure. He's got really quick hands, and when he's active, he can get steals, and he's been doing that this year.
Only 2 shot attempts for the wall the second half. Did anything in particular lead to that, or?
No, you know, he had a charge of guarding their best player. We went to some other ways. We scored enough, but his defense was a huge key. You know, Green didn't have his usual typical night. He had a big game versus the last time we played him. So Ball did a great job of him trying to make him as tough as possible. Sometimes the shots just went in other directions tonight. That's just part of the game.
Kyle, first game back, how did it feel to be back out there and It felt good. Felt amazing. I felt happy, obviously, getting back playing basketball. Felt healthy, felt confident. So it was amazing, especially, just thank God that I recovered so quickly. I tore a muscle in my groin. So to able to come back in 2 weeks is a blessing. So.
What was the recovery like for you, just putting in that work to grind out to get back as quickly as you did?
Yeah, but just being patient because the groin is a tricky injury, and a lot of times you don't want to rush it. I was feeling really good one day in Mexico, and then hurt it a little bit again. So the biggest thing was just just having patience, and then just staying off of it. So to come back in, like I said, 2 weeks is amazing. So.
Slow start for you, but you were able to get into a rhythm. What was it that kind of shifted or clicked for you that allowed you to see that first one go down and then start to feel like yourself?
I just saw one go in. Usually that's what happens with me. If I see one go in, I get more and more confident, and I think that, now that I'm healthy, I get to play. Still on a little minute restriction, but finding my rhythm, and I think that after the first quarter and then the last 3 minutes of the second, going forward, I was really good. So it's positives. Yeah.
The 5 games that you watched from the side, did you learn anything about the team that, did that different perspective help you learn anything about the team?
Yeah, we're just young and inexperienced. I think our biggest thing is just learning how to cohesively play together, and then also just learn from our mistakes.